So, I'm a driver who doesn't hit all his apexes. Sometimes I just don't feel like it, and other times I just frick up. But I often hear people say that hitting all the apexes is the fastest way or the easiest way to become a faster driver. Today we are gonna take a look at how I normally drive, see where I'm missing all the apexes, figure out how fast I am at Daytona if I'm just driving normally. Then I'm gonna practice, and at the end I'm gonna see if I'm actually faster now that I'm hitting all the apexes or if it doesn't make too much of a difference at all. Driving around Daytona casually reveals that I'm leaving a lot of lap time on the table because I'm not trail braking correctly and my braking points are not solid enough. Now let's see which apexes I missed completely. So, as we can see on the track map, we're actually not hitting the apexes of turn 4, 5, 6, 7 and all around the bus stop. We're gonna be practicing that and we're gonna see how much of a difference it's gonna make. So let's get on track. And what I found during my practice, when I try to hit all the apexes, especially when you try to practice it for a longer time, you kind of get a feel for when you should be braking, when you should be turning in, and when you can accelerate after hitting that apex to get a great exit. So I think by focusing on hitting the apexes, you actually secretly get you secretly learn a lot more about how to drive the track well. Because you've got to find out where you can ultimately brake so that you nicely hit that apex, so that you can nicely throttle out of the corner without spinning out, without steering too much, all that kind of stuff. So I guess by finding the apexes, by really trying to hit them all, you kind of get a better feel for what the heck is you're doing out here on track, you know? Actually, I don't know if in these big bulging bends you should be hitting the apex as well.
That lap time was 1:38.64.
As you can see, I've been practicing a lot. I think I put in at least 50 laps on Daytona with the LMP2. And it was a really interesting experience to try and hit all the apexes, starting out slow and then building up from there. Before I started my training, my average lap time from about 5 laps was around a 1:39.424 on a fixed setup at Daytona. I think the practice has really paid off as my average lap time went down to a 1:38.805. So that is more than half a second of improvement on average by just focusing on those elusive apexes. I also understand that this is not the most scientific video. I'm just trying to figure out if by changing just one thing in your driving style, one thing to focus on while you practice, you can actually get faster. And I think by focusing on hitting all the apexes, you have a good chance of improving your lap times, because it is one of the most fundamental things about driving fast around a track. And to conclude the video, I'll show you guys my fastest lap time around Daytona after I learned how to focus on those apexes. I tried to explain this while driving the car, but you're also thinking about driving the car well. So I don't think it came out too wonderfully. But what I wanted to say is that by focusing on the apexes, by really trying to nail each and every one of them, you're setting yourself up for a nice braking zone, because you want to trail brake all the way to the apex, and then you also want a straight exit so that you can practically hammer the throttle as much as possible without breaking traction. By focusing on those apexes, you're gonna have a better braking zone, you're gonna have a better acceleration zone, and I think it's just a wonderful tip that people don't really explain. I think it's easy to say to people, focus on the apexes, or you gotta hit all the apexes, but by really focusing on those apexes for once and practicing to hit them all, I found that the reason you want to do this is you're going to have better braking zones. You're going to be accelerating out of corners faster. And I think that is some information that is also useful beside just hit the apexes. Because you can hit apexes very slowly. That's where you start. But you also have to find out how to get quicker and quicker. And yeah, I think if you take hitting apexes as a starting point, you're gonna inevitably, with enough practice, get faster and faster around the track. So I think hitting apexes is one of the best ways to get faster. So if you're not doing that, be like me, practice it more. And if it's not the apexes and the practice, it must be the mustache that's making me faster. Hell yeah, grow mustaches, boys. Thanks for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't take it too seriously, please! But all your angry comments are also very welcome, because it helps the video in the YouTube algorithm. So if you don't have anything nice to say, still say it, because it helps out. Thank you very much. See you next time. I love you guys. Mwah. Have a good day. Bye bye.